Hello everyone and welcome back to Titanium Trials. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Titanium Legman, and today we're playing Sunless Skies. I have to give a shout out to my friend Jordan. He's the one who turned me on to this game. And as he was describing it to me, I realized this was something I needed to play on the channel. Because it's just weird and cool and interesting and spooky, and I mean, if those aren't all of the things that I like to have on the channel, I mean, I don't know if I even know my channel anymore. So what is Sunless Skies? Well, Jordan and I discussed the best way to describe this game, and we came up with a loose idea that hopefully gives you a functioning picture of what this might wind up being. Sunless Skies is an isometric adventure game with rogue-lite and RPG elements that balances horror, humor, trade, as in mercantile trade, and exploration. Also, you're a steam engine flying through space. And there may or may not be immeasurable eldritch horrors awaiting you in the space beyond what little land has been colonized by London. That sound interesting? It sure sounded interesting for me, and when Jordan showed me some of the game, I got far more interested far more quickly, so. Plus, when I went to look at it, the game was on sale for like $8. Like, hell yeah, I'll do that. So we're going to get right into things here. Don't know that we'll be doing more than one episode of this, but I'm definitely going to be playing more of it, so you guys will just have to let me know if this is something that interests you as you see what it has in store. So, here we go. Let's see. Begin a new game. If you die, you can only continue with a new captain, or if you die, you can reload or continue with a new captain. I believe Legacy Campaign is the quote-unquote proper way to play the game, so we're going to go with that. And, okay. Aiming assist, none. Enemy projectile speed is standard, supply consumption is standard. These all seem good. Standard settings all the way across the board, please. We just got the achievement, Who Are You in the Dark? So there you go. And the more crew you have, the more supplies you consume. This is definitely a survival game in that aspect. You have to very carefully manage your health and supplies. Log of Her Majesty's locomotive, the Orphean, March 14th, 1905. Our expedition to the domains of the dead has been eventful. The Orphean is damaged and in grievous need of repairs and supplies. We are returning in haste to the Reach, where I hope to make port at New Winchester. May God be with us, for 1,000 deaths wait in the sky. Final entry of Captain Amelia Charity Whitlockx, DCM, written shortly before her death. Well, if that doesn't give you an idea of what we're looking at here. Okay. We are here. Blue Kingdom Transit Relay. Forward and backward, turn left and turn right. Toggle cruise control. Okay. So we can see in the bottom left here we have a number of stats. On the very top I believe we have fuel, 1 unit. Below that might be our supplies, 1 unit. Then our health, and I believe cargo space and crew. And this is the 15th of March, 1905. So I'm assuming we are this doomed captain, which is not great. You've returned to the Reach, an untamed, sunless span of the heavens. London's new frontier. A celestial garden run wild. So the thing about this is London was apparently literally transported off Earth and into space, and now that's where all this humanity has come from. March 16th, 1905. Your journey back from the Blue Kingdom was tumultuous. Your locomotive is damaged, and Captain Whitlockx badly wounded. As first officer, the crew look to you. The nearest station is New Winchester. Can you get the Orphean there safely? Potentially. I'm having a little bit of funkiness with the controls. It doesn't... Like, I'm not flying down by pointing down. I'm flying forward by pushing up and then turning to the sides. So we have to scavenge supplies. Let's see what we can get. Much to the relief of your stokers, you find a barrel of fuel among the detritus. A wreck drifts here, less fortunate even than you. We should scavenge it for repairs, a crewman suggests. I think we can do this thing. The wreck of the Ozymandias. The wreck hangs in the sky, pocked with recent gunfire. You and the boarding party don your sky suits, garments of waxed canvas, lined with felt to protect against the cold of the sky. Two of the crew are whispering as they dress. What business did Captain Whitlockx have in the Blue Kingdom, anyway? Why the devil did we trespass on the districts of the dead? You silence him. Now's not the time. We leap across to the wreck. The gap between the two engines isn't wide, but the endless fathoms of heaven gape beneath it, leading the way. You jump. Your stomach lurches with vertigo as the stars blaze above you and below. The air of the heavens is thin and torn by unpredictable winds. Then your boots hit the running board of the Ozymandias, and your leather-gloved hands fumble for a hold. One of your companions throws you a line, and you lash the two engines together. Only then do the rest of the boarding party follow you. One of them forces open an exterior hatch, and you clamber inside. Her interior is cold, unlit, and whistles with wind. Your party's lamps spread buttery light over the narrow, paneled passages. You make your way towards the hold, stepping over bodies crumpled in the corridor. Unfortunately, your way is blocked. A bulkhead has been mangled inward by a well-aimed barrage. Clear the obstruction away or lead your party on a more precarious path. So we have two skills here. Your iron gives you a 75% chance of success here, and our veils gives us a 75% chance of success here. So these being like strength and dexterity or strength and cunning or something like that. You locate a length of pipe to use as a pry bar and set to work. Success! Nice. A memory. As you strain against the stubborn steel, you remember an event from a year ago. A boiler explosion that trapped an engineer under a tangle of plating and pipework. The captain was first on the scene. You were second. Together, you managed to pry the wreckage upwards enough for you to crawl beneath it, while the captain braced the bar across her back. "By all means, take your time," she grunted as you dragged the engineer out. Back in the present, the twisted bulkhead yields. Your companions clear the exposed rubble away. The way is clear. You've reached the Ozymandias' hold, a ruin of smashed cargo and spilled supplies. Hopefully, somewhere amidst the detritus, you can find parts to repair the Orpheon and restock your stores. I should be clear, I don't think I've ever heard the word detritus spoken, so it could be like detritus or something else. As much as I know plenty of words, and generally I think I'm decent at saying them, I'm very bad, it turns out, at interpreting what a word will sound like if I've only read it and have not heard it before, for whatever reason. So if it's something other than detritus, please let me know. We will conduct a thorough search. Your companions work quickly. The Ozymandias' hull has begun to creak. Your actions on board may have compromised its integrity. Renewed. You find enough food and gear to restock your supplies and enough spare parts to make necessary repairs to the Orpheon. The food will need to be thoroughly thawed, of course, but you've eaten worse in the skies. "Aho!" cries one of your party, prying the lid off of a long crate. It holds a cannon, still nestled in straw. Another crewman pulls a battered bird cage from a pile of ruined cargo. Within the cage, something winged and furred opens a sullen eye. You examine your finds. 4X supplies, 15X hull, new total is 30. Nice, we doubled our hull, which is our health, I believe. The Ozymandias emits a long, juddering creak. Your boarding party exchanges nervous glances. From the chaos of its hold, you have retrieved repairs and supplies, and discovered some useful equipment. A gun that can be mounted on your locomotive, and an educated bat. An educated bat, you say? Don't mind if I do. Mount the Jerusalem cannon on the Orpheon. Her own weapons were damaged during your flight from the Blue Kingdom. That leaves you vulnerable. You can claim both this and the bat. Cool. Fire and Fury. The Cotterel and Hathersage Jerusalem fires single shells to a good range, more or less accurately. You order two of your party to get it back to your vessel and fit it immediately. The Ozymandias groans again. The structure shudders spasmodically. Okay, we now have a cannon. Liberate a diffident bat and employ it as a scout. The heavens are wide, so locomotives use scouts, like bats, to locate things of interest. Ports, resources, wrecks like this one to scavenge. You can claim both this and the cannon. I will definitely take this. And then hopefully this train doesn't explode. The bat treats its rescue as an inconvenience and immediately begins haggling over pay. You offer to put it back in its damn cage and leave it on the Ozymandias, at which point it becomes more polite. You doubt it will last. Okay, I think... Do we risk it? Do we press on to the engine room? The Ozymandias is beginning to tear apart. I think we have enough fuel. I think we gotta go. It is too dangerous to stay. You lead your boarding party back to your vessel. Unshackling her from the buckling Ozymandias, you stoke your engines and steam away. Restocked, repaired, and rearmed. The crew give a ragged cheer. Onwards! Also, our terror has fallen. That's good. Terror is very, very bad for us. You see, we have only 7% terror, and our nightmares are untroubled. That will change. That will change. Okay, let's not run into the wreck of the Ozymandias, please. I don't know how one fires the ship like that. Okay. Press F to send out your scout. Cost supplies. Have at it, little buddy. What did you find? You bribe your bat with moths until it tells you what it discovered. Your scout has discovered something. To see what it is, open your chart, the compass icon in the toolbar. Aha! So, our current location is here, and it discovered a station? Cool. Very good. And to get in, we have to... Hubba! Summoned by Captain Whitlockx. Oh. The walls of the captain's cabin are lined with a hodgepodge of curios from across the sky. Captain Whitlockx lies in bed. Black marks cover her skin like a monstrous brand. When she coughs, coils of acrid smoke pour from her lungs. Inquire after the captain's injuries. The brand. A word of living fire pursued the Orphean across the Blue Kingdom. It caught you just before you passed through the transit relay to the Reach and set its brand upon the captain. It's burned itself right through her, the doctor whispers. When I closed the worst of her wounds, I could see the sign is seared into her bones and her organs. Judging from her symptoms, it's on the inside of her lungs, too. The captain leans to one side and vomits a plume of fire into a copper bowl. There's nothing the doctor can do. The captain opens her eyes as you draw near. She attempts to smile. Her mouth is blistered from the blue fires that dance on her tongue. Her hand grips your arm. Her skin is as hot as a kettle. Made arrangements. The Orphean will be yours. Her voice is just a rasp of burned meat breath. But promise. She breaks off to scream a word in a language that was not made for human mouths. When she resumes speaking English, she is weaker, her request little more than a gasp. Promise me one last service. Promise! Promise her you obey her last command. Whatever it is, you'll see it done. Make no promise, tell her to rest, pull away, or demand to know why she took the Orphean to the Blue Kingdom. You know, it seems like we have a storied history with the captain, but why the hell did we go to the Blue Kingdom? She laughs, a sound like wood snapping on the fire. Ash sprays from her mouth. It was worth it, she swears. Her voice is suddenly firm, her eyes hard and bright. Then she sinks back into the scorched pillows and a twisting, frantic fever. Well then, we didn't find out what her promise was, and we didn't find out why it was worth it to go to the lands of the dead, but we do have an engine to command, so onwards! You leave the cabin and the scorched stink of its air behind and return to the bridge. New Winchester is further than you'd like, and the captain hasn't long left. I don't know which of this... Alright. Alright, so basically all of that stuff we could wind up colliding with. Good to know. Whoa! Reach, Marauder! Alright. Aiming is harder than I would have liked. Bring it around. Where are you going, bud? He doesn't seem to be particularly aggressive. Okay. In my experience, those guys are far more violent and far more aggressive than that, but... I don't know what we just found. You approach the buckled wreckage, poised to plunder the plunderers. Behind you, someone is humming a song of victory. Raid the remains or strip it for repairs. Well, we don't need repairs, so we're going to raid the remains. Your boarding party returns with wallets and watches, cufflinks, lockets, and keepsakes. You store them in the safe to be pawned when, if, you make it back to port. We now have 37 sovereigns. Cool. Sovereigns, of course, woo, easy, being the primary currency of London. Alright, we're approaching, sort of, our port of call. Will we get there safely? Jury's still out. Things are getting very foggy over here, it feels like. Oh, this is looking civilized. The taste of smog. The sound of iron on iron. We are home. Okay, we did it! New Winchester! A new port! The crew are eager to see what it has to offer. And we just got an achievement, the Garden of Heaven. Cool. Let's dock. Arrival at New Winchester. You coast into the bustle, the din, the soot and the steam of Wolvesey Station. Or Wolvesey? Maybe Wolvesey. It is clogged with other engines, scrappy mining locomotives from Lustrum Way, weathered explorers gleaming with frost, sleek company vessels with bright brass fittings. No sooner have you pulled into the sidings than a brusque station master bustles over. He requests to come aboard. I must speak with your captain, he insists, brandishing a ledger. The usual formalities. We look to the Orphean's doctor. He has just appeared at your shoulder. His face is solemn. His hat in his hands. He lowers his eyes. Oh no, the captain. The passing. The crew exchange bleak, wordless looks. The Orphean itself feels suddenly more empty. The station master looks confused. You inform him that unfortunately Captain Whitlockx has just passed. Ah, he says neutrally. Sorry to hear that. Very sad, very sad. He waits for what he considers an appropriate minute and a half before continuing. Alas, even amidst tragedy, the cogs of bureaucracy must turn. If Captain Whitlockx is deceased, the station authority require their answers from the first officer. He dons a set of spectacles and locates his pen. It will be relatively painless. Name, background, purpose of visit, etc. Shall we begin? Ooh, are we doing character creation? I think we are. We are. Cool. Okay. So this part's very interesting, and this is kind of where you get the RPG aspects. You get to completely build your captain from a big list of like traits and backgrounds and stuff, which is cool. So, create your captain. Today, London lies between the stars. Her new empire unfolds across the heavens. But 10 years ago, before the northern gate was opened, before the renewed Empress led her people into the skies, it lay in a vast cavern far beneath the earth. Deep, dark, marvelous. Who were you then? So I believe this is a reference to the previous game in the series, which Jordan told me was called Sunless Skies, and functioned in much the same way, but involved boats or submarines or something rather than locomotives in the sky. Same type of atmosphere to it, though. So, a street urchin. No parents, no laws, no masters, but also no roof over your head, no money, and often no dinner. Freedom comes at a price. We'll begin with high veils, the skill of evading and deceiving. A soldier. Yours was not to reason why, yours was but to do and die. You'll begin with high iron, the skill of confronting and overcoming. We might go with this just because we used iron already once. That feels fitting for this first captain. A poet. The pen, the ink, the blank, monstrous page. You'll begin with high hearts, the skill of convincing and enduring. An academic. Student of the sciences, the arts, of philosophy. You'll begin with high mirrors, the skill of investigating and deducing. Priest, a sailor. You roved the mournful, merciless waters of the Untersee. You'll begin with high iron. Okay, so we could be a sailor or a soldier if we wanted iron, basically. Ministry auditor or revolutionary. The world is broken, one way for the rich, another for the poor. You decided to do something about it. Our captain thus far has felt very practical, very focused. Very soldier-like. We're going to go with soldier. You were a soldier. You served in Her Majesty's military. But how exactly? In the Royal Horse Guards, you served in the Blues, conducting labyrinthine ceremonial duties and defending Her Majesty's person. Increases your hearts and affiliates you with Bohemia. Sure, don't know what that means. In the Corps of Royal Engineers, you were a sapper, a mechanic, an architect, an inventor. All while shells fell and bullets flew. Increases your mirrors, the skill of investigating and deducing, and affiliates you with establishment. Or in the commissariat. An army marches on its stomach. You had to find supplies by whatever means necessary. Increases your veils, the skill of deceiving and evading, and affiliates you with villainy. I like the sound of being in the Corps of Engineers. That sounds good. Ooh, what is our ambition? Wealth. You want a comfortable retirement, and by comfortable you mean extravagant. Many have made their fortunes out among the stars. Many more have failed, broken and lost in the drifting night. Will you be different? To win, gather a substantial retirement fund, acquire lodgings at a hub port, and retire. Okay. Fame. You will immortalize your exploits in the song of the sky. For centuries, people have launched themselves into the unknown in the hope of making a name for themselves. You're sure you'll succeed. After all, you never heard of anyone who didn't. Gather stories of your exploits and write about them in New Winchester. Or the truth. Even the stars have secrets, but they won't keep them from you. A message from an old friend begins an unwise quest to learn a secret that the stars hide. What drives you? Curiosity? Justice? Insolence? Whatever it is, it will be tested. Be warned, this is a demanding ambition, best played by a lineage that has already completed wealth or fame. Interesting. Okay. Well, with that in mind, our soldier's a practical lad. I imagine he's a lad. And fame, you know, fame is for the foolhardy, right? Wealth. Wealth is for those who wish to live a nice, long, comfortable life. We're going to go with wealth. Oh, and we can customize our appearance even. Okay, we'll have to get rid of this ridiculous hat. Ours is a very practical, sir. He's got a captain's hat. Well-cropped hair. A large, glooming brow. A sharp nose. A lantern jaw chin. And an officer's uniform. Perfect. Term of address? A lot of terms of address. Captain. Name? Titan. Done. Let us continue. We have our origin, our history, and our ambition, and our starting stats. Nice. 25 iron, 10 hearts, 17 mirrors, and 10 veils, I believe it was. Cool. Let's go. Officers and mascots. In addition to your ordinary crew, you'll now have an officer or perhaps a mascot. You will need to formally appoint them before you can benefit from their skills, abilities, or animal charisma. To do this, open the officers panel while in port. Scouts. Your scout has discovered something. Okay, cool. 3 weeks have passed. The reading of the will. This morning, Captain Whitlock received a simple memorial service. Her body was consigned to an Acropolis train bound for the serene mausoleum. Now you sit with a handful of her relatives in the threadbare offices of her solicitors. A methodical notary is reading the will. The captain was wealthy once, but squandered her capital on mysterious expenses before her expedition to the Blue Kingdom. The captain's relatives, from whom she was mostly estranged, are clearly wondering why you are here. Listen to the end. Oh, we got advice about provisioning. Before you leave New Winchester, it may be prudent to buy more supplies. You can buy them at the Victoria Market. Okay. There's the market selected from the menu that appears on the left of the main panel on the selection or mouse over. True to her word. In a final codicil, the notary announces, Captain Whitlock confirmed that possession of the Orpheon was to pass to its first officer. He peers at you with dry, gray eyes. This includes a certain black box contained in the Orphean's hold. Captain Whitlock's final request was that, at a time of your choosing, you transport said box to an address in London. He hands you an address card, and deposit it there. You are not to look inside. She gave no explanation. And that's it. You're captain now. The Orphean is yours. Okay, you can investigate the black box at New Winchester, you could take the box to London as requested, or you could sell it and be done. We've been bequeathed a large black box which once belonged to Captain Whitlock, and we gained 100 sovereigns. Cool. Wolvesey Station. The clamoring central station of New Winchester, a place of steam and smut and thundering iron. Here you can find people willing to pay for a skilled captain's service. So there's stories and shops. Okay. There's Wolvesey Station itself. We can explore, recruit the Incautious driver. I specialize in test driving, but I'm looking for something quieter. An opportunity, the fastidious inspector. Investigate the black box. Repair the locomotive, hire on crew. We have all sorts of things we can do now. Okay. Well, what shops do we have here? Let's go to the bazaar. Locomotive captains gather at the bazaar to trade goods and information. Here you can acquire prospects. Opportunities to sell a good at distant port for an excellent price. Accept a prospect to claim it. Source the goods and deliver them. Seeds for Magdalens. Magdalens provides comfort and sympathy to the weary skyfarer. Its hosts will tell you any lie you need to hear. Some of those lies require flowers. The amenable host wants up to 3 sacks of verdant seeds and will pay 80 sovereigns for each. Magdalens lies to the south-southwest of New Winchester. Okay. Seeds for Port Avon. Attention! The annual allotment competition looms on Port Avon. Up to 3 sacks of verdant seeds required urgently. Delivered to the vicar at the Nowhere Inn as soon as possible, if not before. Port Avon lies to the west-northwest of New Winchester. Well, we have an exact price here for Magdalens. I'd rather work for a price that I know and that seems amenable than a price that I don't. So, we're going to select seeds for Magdalens. Oh, can we claim both? Oh, well, shit. Okay, never mind. Awesome. I didn't expect us to be able to do that. Abraham's Engineering. Ah, locomotive plating, improvements and refurbishments. An estimable choice. Okay. So we can sell all sorts of stuff. We have engines. Quarters. Oh, so we can upgrade, like, everything here. Okay, so we've got the Jerusalem. We don't really have much in the way of money. Where actually is our money? Oh, 137, okay. Yes, we really don't have anything, so this is probably not the place that we want to be at the moment. Victoria Market. Fuel and supplies, okay. Maybe 1 more unit of fuel. Okay, we now have 3 units of fuel rather than 2. Very good. And at Wolvesey Engine Yard. A notorious graveyard for unwanted, unloved, or blasted out of the sky engines. Occasionally there are gems among the scrap. Okay, so we can actually get upgraded engines. Okay. These are all cool, but they're not exactly affordable. So I think we're just going to move on from that, thank you very much. To Wolvesey Station. Well, we have a black box that we needed to investigate. We should probably do this thing. Captain Whitlock left it to you in the hold of the Orphean. Her will described it only as a black box, a description you consider to be an unhelpful understatement. It is a casket of black basalt, longer than you are tall, unadorned, with a single small recess that contains a keyhole. The thing must weigh most of a ton. It stands upright in a corner of the hold where the crew have pushed it out of the way. Captain Whitlock had a specific request. Whether you obey it is up to you. We have a lot of options here, huh? A lot of which we can't even try. When did Captain Whitlock acquire this box? Captain Whitlock had it brought on board just before your ill-fated expedition to the Blue Kingdom. It was empty then, you know, because you saw the lid and the box carried on board separately and assembled in the hold. It's not empty now. It is sealed, and even heavier than before. But you left for the Blue Kingdom shortly after the box was delivered and made no stops on the way. So whatever is inside the box now, Captain Whitlock found in the Blue Kingdom. Consider what to do with it. The last request of Captain Amelia Whitlock was for the box to be transported to a specific address in London. Alternatively, you could perhaps find someone willing to purchase it as a curiosity. Alright, we did see that. Examine it. It has the dimensions of a sarcophagus plundered from the tomb of some forgotten prince of Egypt. There are no carvings or inscriptions on it. The join where the lid meets the body is too thin to admit even a knife blade. There are no holes by which light or air might find their way in. It is impossible to see inside without opening it. Even the keyhole has been engineered in such a way as to prevent peeking. The recess with the keyhole, though, as far as you can determine, that is a more recent addition to the box. The stone has been drilled and chiseled away to create space for a modern metal lock. Interesting. But we're certainly not selling it. And we can't do anything else at the moment. Savage secret. Carefully packed crate of munitions. We could find a villainous associate who could open it. Or consult with an academic. Interesting. Okay. Well, none of this can be done at the moment. So, perhaps not. Okay. And they didn't tell us what the address in London was that we needed to bring it to, did they? The journal. Oh! Okay, so we might know more once we actually take it to London, which is not where we are currently. We're on, like, the outskirts or something. Okay. Okay. Okay, okay. Fair enough. We have a trading opportunity. Ambition, wealth. Okay, there's all sorts of stuff to see here, but for now we're going to explore the city. The smoggy, clanking, singing, stamping, thronging, frantic heart of the Reach. An ever-expanding port of soot-smudged glass and bright steel, spilling across a drifting, mist-wrapped archipelago. Its factories thunder, its engine sheds ring with hammers and hiss with steam. Locomotives chug into sidings for repair, or flare across the sky and away into the high wilderness. Visit the Promise of Days, a club where seasoned captains gather to trade stories and share advice with younger skyfarers. Or inquire about the Winchester War. Ooh. I like a good war. What do we have going on for war? Also, the journal. Yes, I understand. Thank you. The slow-burning war for the Reach forms the backdrop to daily life in New Winchester. Citizens wishing to keep up with developments in the war turn to the New Gazette. It is famously the only newspaper worth reading in New Winchester, as well as the only paper that hasn't bankrupted itself. Its quality speaks for itself. Here we can read about the progress of the war, check our reputation with the factions, and who currently controls the Reach. Okay. Read about the current political situation in the New Gazette. A careful analysis of the balance of power in the Reach. The Assembly runs New Winchester from Victory Hall and seeks to strengthen its hand in the Reach. London's proxy, the Windward Company, however, maintain a considerable presence in the Reach. Although New Winchester is still neutral ground, tensions are mounting within and without the port. Okay, gotcha. So it's independent to a degree. Interesting. Search the New Gazette for your name. Are they talking about you? What are they saying? We will learn about our reputation with the tacketries and the stovepipes. Okay. You were not mentioned by name, but a daguerreotype? That's one that I've never seen before. Interesting. A daguerreotype of you appears in the society pages. Apparently, you are a bellwether for those wishing to adopt a tackety look. The food columnist, the husband of a well-known Windward Company board member, has named several new recipes after you. They are not nice recipes. Oh no. That's unfortunate. Okay, so we've seen the news. Recruit the incautious driver. Okay. I specialize in test driving, but I'm looking for something quieter. The driver indicates a crashed engine still smoking. Like that. Without the screaming. Ah, this is an officer, I see. Allow the driver to join your crew. What harm can it do? This will get you a chief engineer who will increase your iron by 6, your hearts by 2, and your affiliation establishment by 1. Sure. How much do you need? The driver boards, eager to get started. I recently parted ways with the Windward Company, they explain. Personally, I think a crash a week isn't so bad. They disagreed. Oh well, live and learn. Alright, we've recruited the Incautious driver and lost 20 sovereigns. Very well. We don't need repairs. We might need crew. We've got 8 of 10. Probably want to stock up. Although that will hit our supplies, so... let's see... Today, New Winchester is abuzz with rumor. A famous tackety captain has turned tail and fled back to London, promised a generous pension and a full pardon in exchange for selling secrets. His crew are at a loose end and under a cloud of suspicion. Will they ever find work again? Hire some of the turncoat's crew as replacements. No one else will have them. For the cost of a round at the promise of days, they're yours. Alright, cool. Initially, the crew members are suspicious. They think you might be a journalist for the Gazette. Still, they're happy to drink on your coin, and as the night progresses, the reserve vanishes. When they arrive at your engine the next day to sign their papers, they come with headaches and nausea and the last of their things. They go to their berths, ready to make for the stars again. Cool! An occurrence! Your crew quality is now 10. Onwards! Very good. We have a full crew, a decent amount of supplies, we don't need repairs. There's an opportunity, the fastidious inspector. Excuse me, Captain! A woman pushes through the crowds towards you. She is short and square-shouldered in a neat black suit and polished shoes. She shows you the case of her pocket watch. It is embossed with the crown and hourglass of London's horological office, the body responsible for ensuring time is consistent across the empire. Like, making sure everyone's clocks are aligned, I guess. I'm hoping to book passage to Port Prosper, she says, slipping the watch away. I can, of course, pay. Well, pay sounds promising. Thank you. The locomotive I was on broke down following a boiler rupture. The chief engineer's fault, I suspect. A gentleman fonder of brandy than of diligence. Here, an initial sum to seal our bargain. Prosper lies to the west-southwest of New Winchester. Not that there is such a thing as north, south, east, or indeed west out here. Instead, London cartographers picked 4 of the brighter, more reliable stars visible from the Empress's new palace and named them north, east, south, and west. Londoners value familiarity. Notice that we don't have a queen, but an empress, and it was mentioned before that the Empress opened the gates and led us to the stars. Something untoward has happened here. We've picked up the fastidious inspector. We got 50 sovereigns! Nice. So we need to go to Prosper, west-southwest. So down and to the right. And we also needed to get those seeds. Where was that? Purchase 3 sacks of verdant seeds from the bazaar at Port Avon. Sell them in the bazaar at Magdalen's. Port Avon lies to the west-northwest of the New Winchester, while Magdalen's lies to the south-southwest. So we've got to go north-northwest and then south-southwest. And we need to bring the fastidious inspector west-southwest. So these both are going to wind up in the same area, so we probably want to go north-northwest first. If I had to guess. Get the verdant seeds, I think. Sounds good. Okay. Ambition wealth. Purchase the governor's manor. Oh. Yeah, we don't have 5,000 sovereigns, I'm sorry to tell you, so I think we might be tapped out on things that we can do right now. We could get more supplies, we could get more fuel, but I don't really know how much of either of those we need. So we're just gonna explore. Oh, no, wait. No, we're going to undock. There we go. Okay. So, I don't know... Oh my. We have a big sphere here, okay. I don't know how far north-northwest we need to go for this, but, we're gonna find out! Let's go! Chuggada, 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 chuggada. I'm trying to keep an eye on our supplies and stuff. Oh. Oh, the Blue Kingdom Transit Relay, that's where we came from. What is this, then? Victory Hall. Okay. The Assembly, a coalition of independent-minded settlers, colloquially called tacketies, gather and argue here. Deliver port reports here to receive rewards and win the tacketies' favor. Ah. Visit Victory Hall. Raised in the wake of the blockade of New Winchester, this magnificence of glass and steel houses the Colonial Assembly. Oh boy. This woman has some nasty scars on her face. Raised in the blockade of New Winchester, this magnificence of glass and steel houses... The Tacketies, those settlers who want independence from London, may have work for a Skyfarer. Do we need more work right now? I guess we could always take more work. The music of democracy. Today, the chambers of Victory Hall echo with shouting. The assembly is in session, and outraged roars descend from the boardroom to the palladial lobby. A discreet functionary escorts you from the premises before you hear anything too juicy. You're a captain, aren't you? She inquires, once you're safely outside. If you want to be of service, bring us news from other ports. The Windward Company have spies everywhere, and we need recent, accurate information of our own. Okay, as you visit ports, you may obtain port reports. Turn them in at Victory Hall or Company House to receive rewards. Okay, fair enough. We'll be on our way, I suppose. Is this a bridge that we can go under or something? Or are we gonna bounce off of it? Yeah. Okay, we're good. Chugga 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 chugga. Ooh, what's this? Hello? What are you? Company House. Okay. So this is the other faction, I think? We're very drifty with our steam engine. We don't seem to have lost any health for bouncing off the stuff, though, so that's good to know. The local headquarters of the Windward Company's London's proxy in the Reach. Deliver port reports here to receive rewards and win the company's favor. Okay, so same thing. Following the uprising, the fortunes of the Windward Company fell in New Winchester. Let's see. Deliver port reports to the prudent secretary. Yeah, we don't have any of that, so we're just gonna go on our way. Thank you very much. Goodbye. We are out of here. Going northwest to buy seeds from Port Avon. What will we find? Oh, there's a light. Hello. You guys saw that light up here, right? Oh, yeah, there's someone. Oh. It's a lighthouse. Riexted. Okay, does that show up? Uh-oh. Hello? Are you friend or foe? Friend or foe? Tackety Scout. Whatever you're doing, don't look at me. Listen, we're cool, buddy. We're cool. I'm going on my way. Be chill. The UCE Widdershins, apparently. Did not like the way he was locked onto us there. That was disconcerting. Okay, so this actually is all going to show up as we go. Nice. Well, let's look for Port Avon, I suppose. That seems to be where we need to go. Looks like we're doing fuel. Oh, well, our supplies are dropping. Oh, but hello. We're doing okay on food and supplies, or fuel and supplies, so... And we got some more fuel. Sick. This is a large, shapeless mass that's unlit by our light. Concerning. This is something that Jordan described to me. There's a lot of, you know, engineering your way across the skies in this game, which I find interesting. That's a concerning sound. It's very icy up here, huh? Whoa, a stopped clock. The fastidious inspector approaches you in the galley. Captain, good day. I noticed your ship's clock had stopped. Perhaps you'd permit me to repair it? She has a little case of tools and a hopeful expression. Sure, we prefer things to be right more than twice a day. An opportunity for conversation. She gives a grateful flicker of a smile and sets to work. Soon, she has the back off the clock and has Soon, she has the back off the clock and has spread tiny cogs across the galley table. Obscure horological tools gleam brassily among them. Everything has a place. I appreciate the opportunity to keep myself busy. Staring too long at the stars is harmful to the temperament. Okay, she's attempting to fix our clock. Cool. She has a round face, brown eyes, and short dark hair. She gives the impression of being perpetually busy. What are the duties of an agent of the horological office? Or discuss the reach, compliment her skills, which could be... good. Yeah, let's compliment her. She seems good at what she does. Thank you, she says, a small, embarrassed silence. It's possible the inspector is pleased. It's rather hard to tell. Okay, very well. Inquire about her work. Maybe. There we go. She sniffs. It is of fundamental importance that 10 o'clock on the 2nd of June in one corner of the Empire occurs at the same time as 10 o'clock on the 2nd of June in the opposite corner. How is an empire to function if it can't agree what day it is? Okay, yeah, that's kind of what I figured. Interesting. Fun to think that there's like an entire office dedicated to that, but I guess when you're in the cold, unfathomable reaches of space, you need some sort of consistency in things like this. Unfortunately, the process is complicated by the fact that time is less reliable than it was. The hours trade has seen to that. Huh. Well, that's a comment, isn't it? I know a little bit about the hours trade based on what I saw of Jordan playing this, but not that much, and man, it really is fun to just encounter a comment about the hours trade out in the wild, isn't it? Interesting. Okay. The fastidious inspectors around... Okay, we've seen this before. Ask about the hours trade. You've heard the Empress awards her favorites with gifts of years to extend their lives, and that you can become rich mining for hours to satisfy London's hunger for them. We do like being rich. We're searching for wealth. The tangles of time. Oh, hours have more uses than that. We use them to increase the efficiency of work worlds, to speed journeys to distant regions, to resolve overcrowding in prisons. It does make my life more difficult when time knots and stretches like wool on the loom. More difficult, but more vital. Her Majesty seized a great trove of them when she assumed the throne of hours. Oh. The throne of hours, of course. No big deal. It's fine. And now even more have been found in the Reach. Miners dig them from the ground. She looks momentarily wistful. I hope someday to retire with a modest pension of years myself, to prolong the better part of my retirement. Or the better part of my retirement. Right. Different inflection there. We could ask her about the Winchester War. Why not? There are those who feel that London is a long way away and that they'd do a better job of governing themselves. The frontier attracts independent spirits. We call them tackities for the hobnail boots that are so practical out here. London, unsurprisingly, disagrees. The Windward Company earnestly represents Her Majesty's interests in the region, sometimes very earnestly indeed. The tackities call London's loyalists stovepipes. For our hats, I suppose. She avoids looking at you. And you, Captain, where do your sympathies lie? With London, I remember my heritage and the queen who led us to the skies, or with the tackities, or you feel no loyalty to either side. Feels like if we're trying to make money, sticking with London is probably a good idea. With London! Oh, glad to hear it, she says. Let's try to compliment her one more time now that we've talked a little bit more. See if she's more receptive. Okay. No change there. Very well. We will bid her good evening. We have work to do. And to you, Captain. I think I shall make a cup of tea. Did she successfully fix the clock, though? That's what I want to know. Oh, boy. Enduring Dreadnought. HML Prospect... or Prosper St. James. Okay, so a Dreadnought of Her Majesty's... Her Majesty's Legions, maybe? HML? Well, don't mind me. I won't mind you. Don't look at me. I don't like when they look at me like that. It's very disconcerting. Well, it's very snowy up here, but we are successfully heading more north than west, but we're fixing that. Nothing untoward has happened yet. I'm sure that will change, though. Although we appear to be getting out of the icy area, so that's probably good. Oh. We're low on supplies. Once we run out, our crew will begin to starve. Oh. Boy. That's a bad noise. Our terror is up 3% from where it was. That's great. Our terror is up to 11%. Why is our terror going up? Was it just because of that noise? There's a lot of bad sounds out here. Hello? Friend or foe? Oh, that's a Marauder. Oh, boy. Oh, yeah, we have a heat bar that we need to not overheat. Careful. Oh, boy. That was a big hit. A well-aimed shot penetrates your plating. Ooh! He's a tough bugger. Oh, we're overheating. Oh, we're taking damage. Oh, boy. The heat bar is full. This happens when you fire many shots in short succession. While you're overheated, you can't use lateral thrust, and if you fire a weapon, you'll take damage. Ah! It seems like we're getting him, though. Ah! The juking is real. Ugh! Whoo, buddy. Okay. That was way tougher than I expected it to be. What a fight. I guess that sound effect is there in case you can't see it very easily. Hull damage. Your hull's a little worse for wear. Try to repair it soon. You can do this for a small fee at New Winchester and certain other ports, or sometimes by salvaging from the wrecks of your opponents. Well, board the defeated Marauder to the victor of the spoils. The crew of the Marauder lies dead in the corridor, killed not by your guns, but knives and small arms fire. The only survivor is the captain, locked in the brig with a bottle of brandy. Chalk eyes stare back from every wall. When he ran out of chalk, he began scraping them in with his fingernails, little remains of them, but bloodied stumps. Seen this before, Captain? Says a crew member, grasping your arm. Sky madness. Magdalens can treat it if you can be bothered to take the poor sod. Bring the poor fellow on board. The high wilderness is cruel. This could easily be you one day. This will begin a short quest. Sure. We'll bring him on board. The crew wrap the sky-maddened captain in blankets, then secure them tightly with belts. It takes 4 to transport him safely to your locomotive. He might not be happy restrained, but it should keep him from harm until you get him to Magdalens. Magdalens lies south-southwest of New Winchester. Okay, cool. We have a lot south-southwest. The captain secured, you have a moment to see whether there's anything of worth on his locomotive before abandoning it to the wilderness. Okay. We're escorting a sky-maddened captain to Magdalens. We now have one tale of terror. Woo! Don't know what that means for us, but I mean, it should be something fun, I'm sure. And the sky-maddened captain is aboard your locomotive. Loot the hold. Some of it is even intact. You may gain unusual cargo or strip the engine for materials. Gain hull. I think we're alright on hull for now. Let's look at the cargo, shall we? A distressingly odored barrel. No one is keen to get close. The lid is gingerly removed. All breathe a sigh of relief when coke is revealed, black and precious. The captain's truest friend. Okay, cool. We got fuel. Onwards. And a sky-maddened captain, which, don't know how good that is for us, but it's something. Where the heck is Port Avon, huh? Whoa! We've learned from our experiences. You can earn more experience by defeating enemies, discovering landmarks, and completing prospects and stories. We leveled up? Oh, so we did. Look at that. Oh, that's what this bar is. It's an XP bar. Okay, cool. A moment of reflection. Choose a facet, grow stronger. Okay. So there's a whole bunch of levels. Scarred. You came close that day to death. It left its mark. What was it that nearly killed you? An attempt on your life or an engine accident? Okay. A spell in prison. The judge, stony-faced, condemned you to New Newgate, the stalactite prison of old London. Its dark was thick as tar, its cells were small as pantries. How did you spend your days there? Interesting. An interlude in red and gold. You lost your mind once. They put you in a splendid hotel managed by a cheery gentleman who would determine when you could leave. How colorful the other guests were, how red the curtains, how gold the fittings, how secure the locks. Eventually, you were allowed to leave, but was your recovery genuine? Yes, you're feeling much better, thank you. Through trial and error and determination, you learned to tell what is from what is not. The manager said he was sad to see you go. Or you said what you had to and they sent you home. Even now, your world is red and gold and splendid. Interesting. Or a scandal. I feel like more strength is probably good. Did we survive an attempt on our life or an engine accident? Probably an engine accident. We seem like an accomplished... Oh yeah, we're an engineer. Of course it was an engine accident. We would have been around engines all the time. It wasn't an accident of our making, though. We were there fixing it. It was someone else's mistake. We just got hurt. But it's alright. We're a good dude. We let it pass. A breached pipe, a jet of scalding steam. You spent a week on the brink, trapped in boiling dreams. The scars are still livid on your skin. Alright. We're a tough boy. And getting tougher by the day. Cool. So that's more of where your RPG elements are coming in with these levels. Where in the hell? Hare's Hope. Okay. Don't know exactly what Hare's Hope is. Enduring Dreadnought. HML Scarlet. Hello! Oh, a hush falls over your locomotive. One of your crew removes her cap in remembrance of those who died in this span of the sky. Who died here? I don't know who died here. Interesting. There's so much to learn about this world. So much to explore. I mean, you look at it. We've gone around all this way, and there's so much in here. It's huge. For now, though, I think it's appropriate that we circle back to port, because we are running out of supplies. And that is not great. We have to make it down and around to New Winchester, so... Whoa, our terror spiked. 23%. Lights in the distance, the stoker begins to sing a ballad about the chimneys of New Winchester. Okay, well that's good. Why is our terror spiking? 24%. Is it just being out here? Probably. I'd be scared. Trapisto's Hurry. Okay. That is certainly a landmark, yes. Indeed, indeed. That looks like a dock. It's certainly a building of some kind. I guess that's Trapisto's Hurry, huh? Oh, this is the way we came around before. Because there was that transit relay there. Okay, gotcha. Alright, we don't really have any time for idle exploration, though. I don't know if, like, we've got one crate in the hold. I'm guessing that'll refill our bar one last time. So we have a little bit more supplies than I would have initially thought, but still. Gotta be careful. Gotta be careful.